what they're protesting for and what you're protesting for. And the fact that you can't condemn women and children and elderly people being murdered in the streets.
What about it?
Do you condemn it?
I already said.
Why can't you say yes?
Because I already gave you my answer.
You didn't give an answer. And I think anybody who would watch this would understand what your actual position is here. 3 people that are going to
watch your bullshit video wrestle.
Standing with people who openly support Hamas, a terrorist organization that kills Jewish people. You're so quick to talk on Twitter, but you can't even answer a question.
All right, Raymond, what can you tell us tonight? This is just despicable.
Laura, today, Black Lives Matter Chicago dropped this tweet. It included one of those parasailers, terrorists dropping from the sky, and it reads, "I stand with Palestine." Now, this is a disgrace, Laura, especially considered what
terrorists have cut off babies' heads and burned children alive. Do you support Israel's rights to defend themselves against this brutality?
We're just going to go through here.
You can't comment about Hamas terrorists chopping off babies' heads? Congresswoman, do you have a comment on Hamas terrorists chopping off babies' heads? You have nothing to say about Hamas terrorists chopping off babies' heads? Do you condone what Hamas has done, chopping off babies' heads, burning children alive, raping women in the street? You have no comment about children's heads being chopped off? Congressman, why do you have a Palestinian flag outside your office if you do not condone what Hamas terrorists have done to Israel? Do Israeli lives not matter to you?
This is what happened today in Times Square as a pro-terrorism group celebrated the murder of what will probably end up being 1,000 innocent Jews. Thrilled about the raping of our women and the kidnapping of our children. They gloatingly smile to the camera, mock us, laugh at us, while flaunting swastikas and waving images of murdered Israelis in front of our face, giving us the finger and feeling so empowered by the slaughtering of Jews. Could you even imagine what would happen if there was a celebration of death like this in Times Square the day after 9/11? More of these despicable events are being planned as we speak across America. If murdering innocent civilians, raping women, kidnapping helpless babies and Holocaust survivors, something you are proud about, like these subhumans are, go ahead. Continue supporting Hamas.
Hey, welcome to Wednesday.
Hey, exciting to be here.
Happy days are here.
World War III, off and running.
Yeah, we are getting close, my friend. Getting close. How are you today? Welcome to the Seth Williams Show with Chris Aiken.
Hey.
Halfway through the week, it's hump day, if you will.
Yes. We're humping terrorists to the weekend probably riots, I would assume.
I'll tell you what, my wife and I and daughter went downtown the other day after the show on Monday.
Okay.
And we were just taking a ride. We had to go down and get something from downtown. So we took a ride and we got down to West 25th. And there was a parade of cars.
Okay.
Going down West 25th. And hanging out of all of these cars were young men waving Palestinian flags. They were also wearing, most of them anyways, were wearing the looks like terrorist headgear with just their eyes showing.
Okay.
Otherwise, the rest of their faces and heads wrapped.
Mm-hmm.
And they were celebrating. Then a bunch of them, I'd say close to 100 people, were gathered in a little square over there by Lorraine and 25th. Again, cheering, chanting, waving their Palestinian flags in support of what happened. Now, when you read the stories of what happened, today Fox News showed just a still shot of one of the a bedroom of a child. You could see the kid's bed.
Yeah, all bloody. I saw
and
that.
everything was bloody.
Yeah, I saw that.
They literally chopped the heads off of babies, like little babies, like 40 of them.
Right. They're tough.
They had women walking around, not to be graphic or anything, but it was in the articles, with bloody
vages,
crotches.
Right.
Because they've been raped and paraded through the streets, spit on, beaten, and everything else.
Yeah.
And you have people out there who are supporting this.
People in our government.
People in our own government are supporting this.
Yeah. You act surprised, man. You act like they're like you would expect anything less than this.
Well, maybe not from certain people, but I would expect a little civility. And I guess that's not where we're at anymore. This goes back to what we talk about all the time with the way that the country is going. There is no civility from anybody.
No.
Not even our own lawmakers.
Not at all. They're thrilled. AOC, Tlaib, or whatever her name is, they're thrilled that this is going on. You know, the only civility right here.
Your gun.
This is what keeps my household civil. Every day, all day. You know, they can do all their little parading and all that other nonsense all they want. Bring your little parade to this house, and there'll be some 9mm coming at you.
And see, that's what's concerning. You know, first of all, I want to say Biden, for the first time ever, I thought gave a decent speech.
Okay.
The other day. Now, I thought it was a couple of days too late. The thing that he did not do, though, was call out people like the squad. He didn't call out Tlaib and AOC and those other Cory Bush and all those people. Did not call him out, which he should have. However, during the press briefing, the lady, as France likes to call her, the gay black press secretary, did actually say, "Hey, look, we don't stand with those kind of comments and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We back Israel." So fine, but you got to do something now. Now, the concerning part is that if it can happen over there. And you see the kind of people that are out there, even on the streets of Cleveland. Now, in other cities, there are much bigger protests and much bigger celebrations going on.
Right.
These kind of things can happen here with the southern border the way that it is, as wide open as it is. I think this year alone, they've caught 151 people on the terror watch list. Now, if they caught 151, and there's tens of thousands coming in on a weekly basis, how many have gotten through?
Yeah, probably 10 times that, if not more.
And so this can happen here. And so you are prepared. I am not prepared.
Better get something, man.
Happens here in Cleveland and people start going door to door and just murdering people, I'm in a lot of trouble. What am I going to do? Beat them with a prosthetic leg?
You need to have something. That's why I keep several guns. That's why I have the crossbow. That's why I'm, And I know a lot of people think I'm like a lunatic because I have, more than one gun and, God forbid, more than 5 rounds of ammo, but that's why. Because if it comes here, not saying I'm going to win, not saying I'm not going to get killed, but I'm sure going to go out swinging. There's no way am I going to just lay down and take it. No. No way.
So, I've been thinking a lot about that. I've been thinking about the fact that we could have another 9/11 only a lot worse. I hate to say that because 9/11 was horrific.
Yeah.
But these people are celebrating the death of children, the raping of women, and they're excited. They want the death to America. They want that.
They do.
They want to exterminate people.
The thing is it's a little different, just because, or it's a little similar, actually, not different, but. It's easy to forget that on 9/11, the kids were out in the Middle East handing out candy and, and cheering on the death to Americans and whatnot. It happened then too. The Middle East hates us. Middle Eastern people hate us. They come here to take our money and then take it back to their homeland. That's what they do. They don't like us. Dude, it's It's one of the main reasons we need a closed border, is because it's not so much that we have any fear of people wanting to be Americans. We have fear of people that don't want to be Americans but want to use American laws to end America. They're just twisting everything inside out, and we do nothing about it. At some point, we got to stiffen it up. Some point, we got to say, no, you can't come in. Don't give a shit what our laws are. Our laws were made for when society is truly free, which it can't be right now.
Yeah, I'm sitting there, and I've been glued to TikTok. I hate to say that. Literally, if it's not the half-naked women that I'm watching on TikTok, it's all the news that's on TikTok. I mean, they can have my information. The Chinese can have it for all I care, because I like watching it.
Sure.
So they can keep my information. And it's very informative if you actually find the right thread to be on.
Mm-hmm.
But they're showing a lot of this stuff going on. It's crazy what you realize. There's all these progressive stupid fucks. Sorry, we have a guy coming on from the Fish today. Greg Mack. He's a personality on 95.5 The Fish, the Christian radio station. And so I'm going to try to limit the swear words today.
Is that your one F-bomb?
Well, I did. I took it back. So
okay.
I still have one
half
I can use. It was a half of one. But these progressive little liberal douchebags that are out there, and they want to be part of something. They want to be part of this. I don't know what they even want to call it. They want to be part of this celebration. They don't even know what they're celebrating. They don't even know what's going on. They don't understand the Palestinian-Israel conflict for the many years that it's been going. They have no idea what the hell is going on. Mm-hmm. They're supporting the Palestinians. I don't know why, because they think it's like the cool thing to do. They don't realize that these little liberal progressive douches that they're gay and they got their pink hair and everything else. If they went over there, Hamas would rip their heads off literally. Because they're anti-gay and anti-everything that these kids stand for. They would literally chop their heads off. And yet they're supporting these people. They have no idea why, other than their college professors or whoever is telling them what to do. Mm-hmm. But they're supporting something that they don't know anything about. And they don't realize that they're hated by these people. Hamas would literally chop their heads off just for being gay. You don't realize how great you have it here in this country, so shut the fuck up and go back home and play your stupid video games, get on TikTok, and be happy.
Yeah, find a new ice bucket challenge to do and shut up. I agree with you. I mean, I can't be upset about it because it's not even shocking right now. To me, it's not stunning at all that a large group of people would side with the criminals, because that's all we've seen for the last 5 years. And I mean, this is obviously to the extreme level, this whole Hamas thing. But really, look at even when they were burning down our cities 2 and 3 years ago over some drugged out fentanyl head that got choked out by a cop. I'm not saying George Floyd should have been choked out by a cop, but look at the way they burned down the cities, and look at the way half of this nation was like, good, glad to see the cities burn, glad to see innocent business people lose their businesses, glad to see everybody's rights taken away from them. And we have to stay in while these people are okay to protest and okay to burn stuff down. It's the same. This is the same.
Then when they broke a window at the Capitol, then all of a sudden it's get every Trump supporter and throw them in jail.
Yeah. But it was okay to burn the cities to the ground.
Yeah.
It was okay to drop pallets of bricks off at the corners so that people would be well armed to destroy cities. That was okay. Yeah, dude, the thought that doing stuff wrong is going to be penalized is over. It's over. This is why you just have to get it in your head, not you, but people in general. You have to get it in your head that we no longer live in a society of laws. We live in a society of whatever means necessary.
Right.
And if that means that you got to hit somebody in the face with a buttstock to get them out of your house, that's what you do. If it means you got to put a bullet in them, that's what you do. That's it.
A lot of text coming in with Chris. And we don't know who our neighbors. Yeah, that's true. We don't know who's planning something. We don't know what's next. I wonder if Biden will take non-scripted questions during 20 minutes.
No.
He will do nothing of the sort. Are you kidding me?
I doubt he's going to go on any of the debates.
No.
No way.
Tom.
You got to think that there's backdoor deals being made right now to not run a Democratic candidate.
Oh.
So that there's no presidential debates.
Well, Kennedy already turned third party, so.
Yeah, so I mean, but anybody else, whoever that 1%er guy is out there for the Democrats, you got to think they're working that out to not have that guy run because they can't debate him. They can't debate that puddinhead idiot.
Tom, with a big fifth wheel party coming up. I'm going to that, by the way, the fifth wheel party. Looking forward to that. It's coming up here in Akron, like a week and a half or something.
Right.
I do think this culture globally, another domestic attack is probable. The left won't stand for the U.S. No. It's going to happen here. It's just a matter of time.
I don't think it'll happen with a left-leaning president in place.
Really?
Nah.
See, I beg to differ. I think it's the opposite. I think if somebody like Trump was in office, none of this stuff would even be happening. I think if you
I don't think it has any impact if it happens with Biden. If it happens with Biden, you'll have Biden and AOC and Tlaib out there saying, yeah, those buildings really did represent the horrible side of the United States culture. It's good that they got knocked down.
We had no wars going on when Donald Trump was in office. Why? Because we had somebody with, whether you like him or not, he had strength and he had some intimidation factor to him where he said, I'm not going to put up with this junk. You do something and you're done for. Now we have the biggest pussy of them all in office who doesn't even know what day it is. And this country is weaker because of him.
Well, but the thing is who says it's going to be Trump?
Well, I know.
That's
we need somebody.
What if it's Ramaswamy?
Well, maybe he's got balls. I don't know what he's got. So
I know what he does have. He's got a Far Eastern look that would really put him in a challenging position to fight back.
Yeah, but he's Indian, right?
Yeah. It wouldn't be a good look if an Indian guy was saying, okay, we got to go and slaughter the Afghanis or whatever.
People coming in the country are raping the system.
Yeah, they are. And idiots like Biden are helping them. Here, come on in. Free public services for everybody. Right off the rip.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Are these not the same people calling conservative-minded people Nazis? Now they're the other side killing Jews. Yes.
That's a good point, too. Yeah.
Yes, they are.
Well, we're Nazis because we support bad tweets.
That is true. You can be a criminal and celebrate for it. John Lennon didn't think that days like these. There's a lot of stuff coming in. Trump was bad for business, the war business.
That's true.
None of this would have happened under Trump. You're right.
Probably not.
Chris Aiken better be coming too, says Tom.
Oh, okay.
To the fifth wheel party.
Yeah, that's I have not committed to it yet just because I don't know where I'm going to be. I'm not sure. I got a lot going on with the pinball PA side of things, so I'm.
Was it something wrong? Is it going all right?
It's going. Just a lot going on out there, so I won't get into that on the show. Just business stuff, nothing crazy. It's not like we're closing the doors or anything. It just businessy stuff.
I got to go out there again.
Yeah.
I told my wife, I was like, I need a freaking vacation like you can't believe.
Everybody needs to go out to Pinball PA. It's the greatest place in the world.
Now, and you could stay in Pittsburgh, and it's like, what, 15, 20 minutes away?
From Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Yeah. 10 minutes from the airport. It's right
and
there.
I know, like, when I went out there, my daughter had a blast out there.
Yeah. I'd imagine for you probably needed a little cart or something to get you around. It's so damn big.
Well, when I went the last time, I was in a wheelchair, so I was just wheeling my way around. And it was the first time I was actually happy about being in a wheelchair. I was like, man, this is great. I can sit and play all these games and I have to stand. I'm not walking around all over the place. This is perfect.
Let me ask, because I don't know, and this is the honest to God, I don't know. Is it playable in a wheelchair to play pinball?
That was a little bit more difficult than like the video games.
Yeah, because
I'd
imagine you can't see the ball.
Yeah,
but
I could do it. I mean, some of the games, some of the heights are different, so yeah, it was possible on some of them.
Yeah, because I've been thinking about buying some like ramp sliders. There's like an insurance thing to that.
You are handy capable. Handy friendly.
Yeah. I try to be. I mean, we definitely have like the restrooms that are set up that way, and
it was easy enough.
And at least 50% of the games you can sit there and play. I know that.
Oh yeah.
So we do the best we can with shit that's 50 years old.
I disagree with Tom. 9/11 scared the politicians, and we came together. They can never allow us to come together and ruin the progress and dividing us as a nation.
Now that's a good point. That is a good point.
Carrie for Senate. Dude, Rick is just involved with anybody that's a good-looking broad. He wants to talk about Carrie Lake. He wants to talk about Melissa. Anything that's a good-looking broad, Rick is all about. I hope Rick, you're feeling all right. I saw some stuff on Facebook that you weren't feeling it.
What about the girl that was given handies at the movies? Is she still in the running or not?
Oh, which one's that?
Laura Boebert or whatever?
Oh, yeah. She's hot, too.
She's hot, yeah.
But I think she's annoying. Everything I've read, anyway, she's annoying.
Not on a date.
Yeah, she's a Trump broad, and she's way hot. So.
She's definitely not annoying on a date.
Yeah, that's great. Do you think anything's going to happen here? Do you think any of these Palestinian riots, anything's going to happen in this country where we're going to break out into some kind of unrest with riots?
Like unrest with Palestinian people? No.
Yes.
No, I don't think that at all. I'll tell you why I don't think that. We have too many guns.
Okay, it didn't stop the George Floyd crowd from...
I get that, but this is going to sound extremely racist, but I'm just going to say it.
Here we go.
I'm just going to say it. Those, as much as those were disgusting, were still us fighting us. If you look at Middle Eastern people, even if they are American citizens, I don't think gun-toting American people are going to have as much problem putting a bullet in them. And I know that sounds racist, and I'm sorry that it does, but I'm being real here, not trying to say something to be friendly. I honestly think, first of all, I think most of the people that own guns legally were alive during 9/11 and still have a little bit of that anger in them from 9/11. And regardless of if the Palestinians have nothing to do with 9/11, they still look the part.
Did I mention that we have Greg Mack from the Fish 95.5 coming on?
You did.
The Christian radio station.
I'm not swearing.
Oh, I didn't say you. No. Just pointing out that Tony Massaggio is also going to join us. I have no idea where he's going to be, but I think he's back from Hawaii.
He'll be on the plane. Look at these peanuts, Seth. These peanuts are great.
Next Monday, we have Psychic Sonia coming on.
We do.
She's going to be talking about her haunted ghost tours, and we'll probably ask her about if she saw any of this stuff coming, or maybe see what's going to happen next. But
yeah, let's hear it. Hopefully, she knows that what's going to be next is going to be like turning a new leaf and finding a better tomorrow.
Sandy says, I'll express Rick's feelings about Melissa tonight when I see her.
Ooh.
I think she's married there, Rick, but at least he kept that emoji clean. That's good. What's happening in the Middle East is all by design. Corruption on both sides. Don't know if you've seen what Lindsey Graham said last night, but we should. Iran's oil refineries. How smart is that? Oil prices up.
Yeah.
I saw Lindsey Graham last night on Fox, and he actually was swearing, too, while he was talking to Hannity.
Lindsey Graham?
So this is a bunch of bullshit. And I was like, whoa, I know it's Fox, but still, what are you doing?
Was it after 10?
It was around 10 o'clock.
So a safe harbor, maybe? They dropped the shit bomb a lot now on TV.
Yeah, you're not swearing, but Seth is making up for it. I didn't say anything. I was quoting Lindsey Graham. It had nothing to do with me.
Hey, you've dropped a couple F-bombs in here today.
I did not.
You
we have
did.
Greg Mack from the Fish coming up. I'm not going to swear.
You did. I've
You ever
been
listen
great
to
so
Fish?
far. What's that?
You ever listen to the Fish?
Every day for about 10 years. Yes, I did.
Right. Well, then good. You'll handle this interview because I work in the building and I don't know if I've heard a song.
Unfortunately, when I was subjected to the Fish, we'll say, it was when Mercy Me was their big band, and they beat that worse than commercial radio would beat a Guns N' Roses Sweet Child of Mine. I mean, it was every hour on the hour. Do you know that song? I can only imagine what I'd say to you.
The Palestinians here are not the problem. The problem is the left-wing white liberal college students whose brains are mush. Absolutely true. I mean, did
That's
you
very true.
See what Harvard did? Like 30 Harvard groups put out a letter saying it was all the people of Israel's fault that this happened to them. I mean, in Harvard, you're talking about the next leaders of our country that are coming out of that school, and they're saying ridiculous stuff like that.
Well, what are these? Are these? I'm okay. I don't know if you'll agree with this or not, but I'm actually okay with these idiots protesting or saluting that Hamas did this. I'm okay with that.
Why?
As long as when Netanyahu levels these people, I don't want to hear boo about it. I don't want to hear boo about the Israelis in this country that will be doing an equal amount of celebrating and taunting. I don't want to hear word one about that.
Don't you know that is one of the biggest problems with this country is that it's so
broken
that one side can protest, that and then the other cannot. So if the Jewish people around here started cheering when they make that place a friggin' parking lot, they are going to be called racist. They're going to be called all kind of horrible names, and they will probably be shouted down or arrested for celebrating.
But this
the other side can do whatever the hell they want. Literally driving down the streets of Cleveland the other night, hanging out of cars with Palestinian flags, cheering with only their eyes showing, wearing terrorist headgear as they're driving around yelling horrible things. I saw it with my own eyes.
Yeah. Again, Seth, all I got to say. This is the only 2 words I need. My gun.
It took everything in me. I wanted to yell something out the window at these guys or flip them off or something like that. But then I was like, dude, that's asking to get killed.
Yeah. Dude, you'll see it. You'll see an RPG come out a back window.
Yeah, I mean, nothing good can come out of what I'm sitting there.
You just need to take the DoorDash up to the door and get the hell out of that city, wherever you are.
Obama, a Harvard man. I think he even condemned these attacks. I don't know.
He did before Biden did. Well, that's good, though. The true president should say something.
Yeah, right. At least the guy behind the screen is actually saying something. Yes,
that's right. Not the pudding-headed puppet, but the guy with the actual thoughts. He had something to say. Yeah, it's a mess, dude. This whole thing is a mess, and it ain't gonna get any better. And it ain't gonna go away quick either. That's another mystery or myth that people are putting out there is, when this dies down in a couple weeks, this ain't dying down, man.
Well, that's my question too. How long do you think this is going to take?
Years.
Because I know they're preparing for a ground war
years.
But okay, Israel's pissed. Now they have the capability in the Army and the Air Force, especially, to go in there and just start knocking shit out knocking stuff out and and do this in a matter of days. I mean, it's not like you're talking about a big, huge area here. Mm-hmm. They've already warned the citizens of Gaza, get the hell out because we're coming in.
Yeah.
I mean, go in, wipe it out. The Palestinians brought bulldozers to the wall and the fence to tear it down and to invade. I'd take bulldozers right behind those tanks, man.
I remember another time that we said that, dude. Remember another time that we said about a 3-week war? That they just pulled the troops out last year.
Later. Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, but see, look, here's the problem. The U.S. plays by a different set of rules. if you let the U.S. go into these places and fight wars the way that we're capable of fighting wars with all the technology, and all the bombs and all the shit that we have to be able to go in, fight a war, win a war, then we win in a matter of days and it's over. But we play by a rule book where we go in, we tell them, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. We don't want to hurt civilians. They didn't care about our civilians. In fact, they targeted them.
Yeah.
And so why do we care? Go in there, knock them out, and end it. Then it's over. You don't have anything to worry about anymore. And end of days for them.
But here's why that won't happen. Because Israel, much like the United States, is ultimately powered by the dollar. And if they're out there mowing down civilians to get to the criminal targets, that's not going to keep them getting paid by us. That is the one line that American people will not tolerate. They're not going to tolerate it, which means that the criminals in Washington can't keep siphoning money. They can't keep stealing money, and they can't keep funneling money into that area of the world. And therefore, they will not do it. They just won't do it. Netanyahu's going to blow up some stuff. He's already blowing up some stuff, but you watch. Within a week, he's going to... The reason he's talking about a ground war is because what are they going to do? They're going to stop bombing stuff. You do a ground war so that you can go in and onesie-twosie it into a city, into a town, into a location. If you just want to knock everything out, you just drop bomb after bomb after bomb after bomb until it's all dust. That's what you do. But they're not doing that. What is he already saying? I'm planning for a ground assault. A ground assault. Not an all-out assault. Why is it not an all-out assault?
Well, they've also said we're going to feel something opening the gates of hell.
Yeah, but they all say that. That's all that saber-rattling bullshit.
Okay, we don't say that here. I mean, George Bush didn't say that.
Sure he did. We're going to hunt them down wherever they are, dead or alive. It's a different kind of saber rattling, but it's the same thing. George Bush absolutely said the same things.
Should the U.S. get involved? Should we not only send ammunition and supplies, but should we go over there with troops and start guns ablazing?
No.
I'm talking about Americans that are being held hostage, Americans that were killed over there. I mean, why not go over there ourselves and start blowing shit up?
Because then then you have to, if you do that, then you're justifying it coming here and blowing up a kindergarten school, blowing up a grocery store, blowing up
if we're sending supplies and stuff, we're doing the same thing.
I'm against that. It's not our problem. As heartless as that is, it ain't our problem.
It is our problem when you have Americans that are held hostage and Americans that have been killed there. I think it is our problem.
Okay, dude.
And especially when Israel is our ally.
Dude, would you
It is
go?
our problem. I don't think Ukraine
around...
is as big of a problem to us as Israel is. Ukraine has been a corrupt government for how many years?
Well, I agree with that. Unfortunately, our commander-in-chief is taking money off the Ukraine top.
But Israel has been our ally, and I think should remain our ally, and would do stuff to help people like that.
And we've been. I don't think we got to supply. We don't have to fund their war. We shouldn't fund their war. They should have been ready for this. Quite honestly, they should have been ready for this.
Well, I don't know why.
They're not.
Something happened because, I mean, the technology they have. Did you read some of the technology they have over there?
Dude, I'm aware of it. Yeah.
They have, like, smart walls over there.
Yeah.
And, like, the technology is unbelievable. And then they had the guard towers and they had fences, but they had smart walls. Why don't we put a smart wall in it? That's where Trump fucked up. I mean, messed up. Trump should have gotten a smart wall on the southern border. So every time somebody touched it, they knew that somebody was coming over.
Right. Well, yeah, but God forbid, we don't want that. How can you get votes if you stop people from coming in, Seth? I agree. It's the Reichstag fire. It's Pearl Harbor. It's the same thing. All of it is all there. There's no thought in my mind that this was a total surprise. That's ridiculous. I saw something out there that said the Egyptians warned the Israelis and the Israelis did nothing about it.
Why would they do nothing about it?
Because it doesn't set a political agenda? I don't know. There's politics to all of it, man. You got to look further than just... You got to look further than the players that the puppet box shows you every night.
Well, I'm not saying that it's not true, but I mean, I don't understand. Okay, I guess it goes back to the conspiracy about 9/11, where we say our own government.
Yeah.
But why would the government want thousands of people killed? I mean, I guess it could be a reason. I don't know.
Well, because thousands of people in the scope of changing a global agenda is nothing. Is nothing. Honestly, look at where we are now, 20 years out from 9/11. If you wanted to make a change that drastic, would killing 2,000 people be that big of a deal? To completely change freedoms of speech, the attack on gun ownership, the whole new world government, the ability to have morals and standards and all that all changed on 9/11, and it only cost 2,000 people. In the biggest agenda, in the bigger past our emotional feelings, because we know some of those people, that's what it is. And again, I'm not trying to say, well, it's just those people didn't mean anything. Of course they meant something. But look at where we are now. Look at 9/12. You couldn't say the word Afghanistan without somebody wanting to punch you in the face.
Yeah.
Now, 20 years later, which 20 years is not a long time, 20 years later, you have riots or you have parades in every major city in this country celebrating murdering children. Celebrating it. Telling people to stop being babies and stop crying because their babies got their heads lopped off. That's only 20 years different. That's 20 years from a time that not a single person could say Afghanistan. Not one person could say it. And now where are we? That's not a long time, man.
9/11 was to further an agenda. Government doesn't care about his peons, Seth. Come on.
I agree with Joe. That's why I can't celebrate any of them, because I don't think any of them are any good.
So, I guess I refuse to. I don't want to believe that our government could be like that, and it could be the people that we elect to help us and protect us would be the ones that are putting our lives in danger or killing us.
Then let's play this game, Seth. Name 3 legitimate things, and don't give me something of like, well, somebody that's homeless can get free cheese. Give me 3 legitimate things that have helped the population of the United States that came from government in the last 25 years. 3.
Lauren Boebert in a bikini.
Okay, that's just a personal thing.
No. I don't know.
There's not. That's the point. There's not. These people are not trying to help us. They're not for our agenda. It's not the old days. It's not the 17 and 1800s where these guys were trying to form a more perfect union, as the song says. They're not. They're not for us. They're about making their own power breaks and their own financial breaks. That's what they go to Washington to do. I know Tucker Carlson said on his X show the other night, he said something to the effect of, I've been in Washington 25 years and I don't recognize any of these people. I don't recognize their agenda. I don't recognize what they stand for. I don't recognize what they're trying to do. This is a guy that's grown up in it, and he doesn't recognize it. Dude,
so what is the ultimate goal, though? Why would they try to hurt it? Is it just about money?
Money and power. One world government is the biggest power. They see these guys, and again, now we're goodbye, Twitter, because we're going to the guys that have the ultimate amount of wealth and power, the Rothschilds, Schwabs, Soros, etc. These guys are on record constantly saying, one world government, and we're going to take the things away that give us one world government. Schwab said last week, by 2030, nobody's going to own a car anymore.
Yeah, I saw that.
You know, because why should you peons be able to get where you want to go? Why shouldn't we be able to track you? Why shouldn't we know where you're going in case you're going somewhere bad? In case you're trying to fight against us? They don't want you to own a house anymore. They don't want you to own a home. They don't want you to be able to get your own groceries. They don't want you to be able to afford your own groceries so that they can say, well, here you go. Just do what we say and we'll give you your food. That's what they're doing, bro. That is what they're doing.
I mean, I did see an article the other day about they want to try to limit the amount of times you can fly and where you can fly.
Yes.
I mean, right. They are really trying to. And there was somewhere that I wanted to go the other day, and no cash accepted anymore. It's all you have to use a card, no cash, or you can't come in.
Yeah, and dude, like you know my friend Eric that came on the Flat Earth show.
Yeah.
Eric from Stephen Piercy's band.
Yeah.
He keeps me updated on what's going on in the airlines. And he was flying Delta, and Delta has casually put up signs now where you can get on the plane quicker if you use digital ID. So now they're going to start pushing. If you think past just Delta, the airlines are now going to want digital ID to get on the planes, which is to go into what you're saying. If you use digital ID, they can say, well, wait a minute, you've already flown 3 times this month. You can't fly anymore. You've flown too many times. You've done too many miles. You need to go back home where we can keep an eye on you.
Hey, Chris, the government gave us free COVID shots.
That's true. Why?
That's another thing. Control.
Yeah.
And they tested out their locking down of us.
Well, they tested their locking down, and they found out which people were the sheep that they could easily kill. As every single day we see people aged 20 to 50 dropping dead suddenly of heart disease. Apparently of natural causes. Right, YouTube?
Twitter and YouTube. See ya.
Oh, Twitter loves this stuff. You can say anything on Twitter now. Elon Musk is the savior of Twitter because you could say anything over there.
Yeah. You're right, Chris. 9/11 equals New World Order. It's almost here, I believe. War on fossil fuel, digital currency. It's coming fast.
And coming from all directions. Dude, think about this. Think on the...
You don't think that the people here would revolt and stand up to this government?
I'm going to tell you why.
They try to seriously try to lock us down and try to tell us no and everything else.
I'm going to tell you why. Complete and total inability to organize. Think about your own life, just your own life, and not trying to organize anything. Can you leave your house without your phone?
No.
Can't do it.
No.
If you had to mobilize in Hickston, Ohio, I'm making up a name, but if that was a real place and you didn't know where it was, could you find it without your phone?
No.
So they've got the control here. They've got you by the balls. How are you going to organize if you can't communicate with each other? And the only way you can communicate, they've made it easier and easier and easier to have a phone. They've made it harder and harder and harder to have everything else. You can't pay somebody to take you anywhere because they're going to have a phone or they're going to have a GPS and they're going to be able to tell where you're going. They've taken away the ability to mobilize.
I can't poop without my phone. I hear you.
That's what I'm saying. We're done. It's over, man. My hope is to try to get to my end of my life without taking a bullet. That's it.
If you see the word sustainability in your community, oppose it or look very, very carefully at all the wonderful things being proposed.
Yeah.
15-minute cities.
Mm-hmm. All of this. You have to have an electric car. Why? Because they control the electricity.
Yeah, most people that don't understand that when you get an electric car, the electricity comes from the fossil fuels. Oh, by the way.
Yeah, but they're trying to limit the fossil fuels. They're cutting it all off here, and then they'll cut it all off from the Middle East and say, well, we just don't have any anymore. Once they've taken out all the pipelines and the ability to get it from here, then they'll say, well, we can't get it from the Middle East either. Those people are crazy. But we've got a good Tesla for you.
All right, this is kind of scary stuff, man. It's kind of scary when you think about, what they're trying to do and what they can do and what they've been able to do so far, and how do we avoid it?
Yeah, but at least we've got apps on our phones.
I do like that.
At least we can go to TikTok.
Yeah, I go to TikTok, and I played Monopoly today for a little bit, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, well, that's what they want you to do. Sit in your house, do nothing until you die. And then they don't want you to be able to be replaced.
Take this. We talked about this morning on Bob Francis' show.
Yeah.
This is great. So we have leaders in our government supporting the Palestinians.
Right.
And supporting and cheering on what happened in Israel. Playboy magazine came out today and fired, what's her name?
Mia Khalifa.
Mia Khalifa. Because she came out with, celebratory comments about what happened in Israel.
Some about Renaissance painting or something. This is a Renaissance painting.
Yes. And Playboy came out and said, we don't put up with and stand for hate speech. And she is no longer with the company. She has been terminated.
Oh, my
God.
God.
Really hot naked broad has been terminated from Playboy when Playboy has more standards and values than our own government.
Yeah.
There's a problem in this country.
Okay, let's play this out, though. You know her stance now.
Yeah.
She's pro-Hamas, anti-Israeli.
Yes.
Will you not watch her porn on
I will
X
never
videos?
watch. I promise you, I will never watch her stuff.
You'll never watch Mia Khalifa again?
Never. Ever.
Really?
Look, there's plenty of good-looking women out there that don't stand for that kind of crap. I would never watch her again. I mean, and she is extremely gorgeous.
And she has great skills.
Yes, apparently. I've never experienced them myself. But from what I've seen and heard, yes. But I could not support that kind of thing. I can't. There are certain things in my life that I've now. When I was 22 years old, I would have been a dick and said, "Yeah, well, who cares, whatever." But like, I'll never watch another Robert De Niro movie. I hate him with a passion because I think he truly hates his country. I'll never watch another movie of his.
So should Mia Khalifa be banned from Pornhub and X videos and all those places?
Look, I'm not a cancel culture kind of guy.
Yeah.
I think people are entitled to their own opinions, but I also have my right to say I'm not going to put up with it or watch it myself. I mean, I'd be a hypocrite if I came out and said everybody should be canceled and said something I disagree with.
Right.
I don't like it. I don't agree with it. I think it's a bunch of shit, what she said and more De Niro says and stuff like that. And so I'll never partake in their junk. But I'm not going to. I would never stop somebody or want them canceled from making money or making a living.
Yeah, no, I'm with
she's
you.
only got so many years before she's going to be done making her living.
No, she's already out of that game. That's the weird thing. That's why I saw this story too, and I was like, she's out of porn. She doesn't do porn anymore.
What does she do? Is she
she's like she's like a sportscaster or something.
Really?
Yeah, she works for some sports, one of this like Barstool or somebody.
But she had to do something for Playboy. For what did they do? Just cancel her line of videos?
They probably did, or she probably at this point, because she's long in the tooth in porn years. She's probably like 23 or something. So so
a little too far in the game.
Yeah, but she I know she stopped doing porn because it was a sad day for me when she announced that she stopped doing porn. But she
writes good articles.
Yeah, that's it. It's funny.
She uses a different kind of pen when she's writing, though.
Mm-hmm. Pink pen.
Yeah.
Or maybe a brown one. I don't know.
But yeah, be honest. I would never. There are certain people in my life now that I would never watch their stuff or support any of the stuff that they do ever again.
Yeah, I try real hard to separate the work from the person. That being said, like certain things though I won't give money to. Like I'll still watch a baseball game, but I'll never give Major League Baseball another dime.
Right.
You know, I'll still watch their product. I'll still take their product for free, but I'll never like go to a Guardians game or a Padres game or whatever. No way.
Springsteen is dead to me.
See, Springsteen's no. I'll listen to his old music. I'm not going to hurt my own taste on his dumbness, but I won't go to any more shows ever. And if I want to hear something, I'll either hear it for free or download it illegally or whatever.
I'll never watch a Chiefs game again now.
Because of Taylor Swift?
Not just because of Taylor Swift, because of Mr. Pfizer.
Oh, because of Travis Kelce?
Yeah, I'm over Travis Kelce and his whatever you want to call it. Mr. Pfizer can.
Well, what do you think about if he comes on and he debate? Even if you don't agree with him, what do you think if he does come on and debate Aaron Rodgers?
I mean, that'd be great. I guess. I don't know.
Did you see the interview?
I think somebody like Travis Kelce is just selling his soul to the devil at this point. I mean, dating Taylor Swift, going on TV with these stupid commercials for this ridiculous vaccine. I mean, I think
you give it. I'm asking. I'm not making a point here. Well, I am making a point. This is my point, but I'll ask you if you agree with it. I just think Travis Kelce's kind of a dummy, and I think it's he's getting some hot ass, and he's doing the Pfizer thing because he's like a Fox News dummy, or not Fox News. What's the other one? CNN News dummy. Just watches CNN. Because I saw the interview with him where he's like, well, I just did what I got to do to protect my family and blah, blah, blah. He just seemed like a dummy. He wasn't really like, I looked into it and I studied it and I found this or that. And he wasn't like that. He was like, hey, everybody had to get their shot. So I got my shot and I got my shot for my family. He just seems like a dumb guy that, somebody threw a boatload of money at him. And he's like, shit, yeah.
Well, you did go to Cleveland Heights High School. So.
Yeah, well, that makes him even more of a dummy. So, but honestly, if you've ever listened to his podcast, him and his brother as well, neither of them are rocket scientists.
No.
They're just regular schmoes and they believe the media. And, don't forget, these guys, they heard nothing for 4 years, but, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this. Our league supports this. This is good for your job. I just think he's a dope.
Charlie from Charlie's Auto Repair in Lakewood checks in. I haven't watched or listened to one MLB game ever since they decided to put the name of a terrorist organization on all the pitchers' mounds.
What is the terror organization?
I think they put like BLM, like Black Lives Matter and stuff like that.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they had for a while. They had like when the Floyd stuff and all that stuff was happening. They had like I don't know if it was actually on the mounds or if they superimposed it on TV so it showed it, but I think it was actually on the mounds. Oh. But yeah, they had like messages just like the NFL did with this stupid on the back of the helmets and stuff. And the end zone and all that.
They got rid of all that though.
Yeah,
that's why I'll watch the NFL again. I didn't watch the NFL for like 2 years. I stopped watching it, and I'll never watch another basketball game.
Oh, me either.
As far as I'm concerned, LeBron told me if I don't believe in him, then don't watch. Okay,
I'm not gonna watch.
I won't watch. I'll never watch again. Couldn't care less. I don't know. I hear the Cleveland sports, on the radio and whatnot, and they talk about these players. I've never seen a single one of them play. Jared Allen or what's the guy, Donovan Mitchell. Yeah. I've never seen these guys so much as dribble a basketball.
See, what angers me, though, and, Triv and I would argue about this because Triv, at first, wanted to sit there and say, yeah, screw these guys, and screw the basketball, and screw baseball, and all this kind of stuff, and football. And then he came and he kind of switched a little bit and said, I'm not going to let these players or what they're doing take away from the game that I love. Mm-hmm. And I kind of get that because I enjoy watching baseball. I enjoy watching football. And so, the couple of idiots that want to kneel or that want to act like dicks and stuff like that, then it bothers me. But am I going to let them ruin the game that I like? And sad part is sometimes, yes, I have let it.
Sometimes, I'll tell you, I've adjusted how I watch everything. That's for sure. I know I don't watch, like football, I don't watch any pregame, any halftime, or any postgame. I watch only the game. I know that the kickoff is at 1:01 every day, every game. So I turn on my TV at 1:01 so I don't catch even a minute of these guys trying to talk their political garbage. And baseball, I just don't watch it like I used to. And honestly, a lot of times with baseball, maybe you should check into this, Seth. You might like it. There's on all of the free channels, Freevee and Pluto and whatever, they all have something called MLB Classic Games, which is all the old games.
Right.
From the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. And it's full games. It's not like, some 20-minute recap. It's the full 3-hour games. And a lot of it, and it's not only playoff games or whatever. It's like, hey, here's the A's and the Angels from 1986 or whatever. And you just watch it. It's like Rod Carew and Bobby Grich. And,
nice.
It's like, all right, this is cool. And you watch it for 3 hours. It's like a 8-7 game. It's always a good game, too. It's never a 13-3 or nothing.
Right.
So I do that a lot more than I do regular baseball now. Basketball, though, is dead. I don't care. They wrecked that for me.
Yeah, I can't watch basketball. I liked basketball back in the...
Loved it. 80s. Yeah. Charles Barkley, Dr. J, Larry Bird.
Yeah, those kind of
Magic.
guys.
Yeah.
Even the Pistons with those teams that you just wanted to freaking hate.
Yeah, Lambeer, those years.
Those guys, man. But it was fun basketball to watch.
Yeah, it was.
Price draining threes. I mean, it was fun to watch basketball back then, even though the Cavs blew it all the time.
Yeah.
But Michael Jordan, that era was just a good thing.
Great.
Even before that was a great era
Sure.
of basketball. But these athletes today suck.
Dude,
Although, did you hear what Amari Stoudemire said the other day?
No.
He came out after these attacks in Israel and went off and basically called out Black Lives Matter and said, he actually said, fuck you.
Wow.
And he said, fuck you to like numerous groups that are coming out in support of Palestinians. And for a guy like that to come out and literally say F you to Black Lives Matter, I was taken back. I was like, all right, I can support this guy a little bit. Behind him.
That's wow. I did not see that. No, I'll take up the fringe sports now. That's what I watch. Power Slap. That's my stuff.
Yeah.
Power Slap or any UFC, and especially UFC or MMA, they all keep the politics out of it completely. Like every one of them federations, there's none of them that are saying anything political. Nothing. It's great.
All right. Well, I'm going to see if I can find that Amari Stoudemire clip because I want to play that.
Okay.
We got to take a quick break, and we got to play Dog Pound Details.
Yes.
To play this weekend. And I don't think Deshaun Watson's going to play. They're saying he could be out 4 to 6 weeks.
Oh, good.
With a shoulder injury.
Good.
So
we'll talk about the Browns when we come back because I heard something today that made me just think this team is just dead. And I know I've been on the other side of it for the start of the year, but I might be coming over to the dark side with you here.
Yeah, I think they got some major problems, and I don't think they're ever going to be right. And I think they got to get a new quarterback. $230 million later. All right, so let's take a quick break. We'll do that, and then we have Tony Masaccio coming up shortly, too.
Cool.
And we also have Greg Mack from 95.5 The Fish coming on in a little bit. He's got a very cool charitable thing that we need to promote. I think it's going to be cool. And I encourage everybody to help out a little bit, whatever you can. I think it's going to be pretty good. So
cool.
Hang on, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. If you want to check out some 90s music, I think it's going to be a party. I'm going. Listen up.
The 1990s regional rock sensation, The Fifth Wheel, is back with the original lineup for a very special 30th anniversary concert, October 20th at Jilly's Music Room in Akron.
Get your tickets now at thefifthwheelmusic.com. It's the ultimate alt rewind as The Fifth Wheel plays their hits from the 90s along with brand new tunes.
Join me, Rocco, formerly the Rock Dog, from WMMS and 107.9 The End.
And me, Carrie Danger. Get your tickets at thefifthwheelmusic.com for The Fifth Wheel live at Jilly's in Akron, October 20th.
As The Fifth Wheel celebrates 30 years with very special guests on Masonic. Join us as we flash back with The Fifth Wheel 30th Anniversary Concert, October 20th at Jilly's Music Room in Akron. Special new record release, special guests, a great show, cake reception. What more could you ask for?
Get your tickets now at thefifthwheelmusic.com.
It's the Fifth Wheel 30th Anniversary Concert.
Don't miss it.
There's no place like home, and whether it's furniture, artwork, home accessories, appliances, or that one-of-a-kind collectible, Yellow Brick Road Online Auctions allows you to find everything you need from the comfort of your own home. The owner of Yellow Brick Road Auctions has been conducting online estate auctions for over 8 years by providing homeowners with a stress-free process to liquidate all items that have accumulated over the years.
I'm Melissa Mendici, owner of Yellow Brick Road Auctions. Log on today to find your heart's desire.
What separates Triv's restaurant in Strongsville from everybody else? Some restaurants you go to eat the same thing over and over and over. But then there are restaurants like Triv's, where you want to go there every single time and eat something different until you have eaten every single item on the menu. Why? Because the food's delicious, and it has been for almost a quarter of a century. Triv's has amazing food, outstanding service, and an opportunity for you to have private dining, special events, and intimate occasions. You can enjoy a memorable fine dining experience in your own dedicated, intimate space. Visit Triv's in the heart of Strongsville. Call now for reservations, 440-238-8830. Triv's in Strongsville. Joe Burdick custom flags are amazing. Each flag is handcrafted to reflect the imperfect perfection, making each piece of patriotic wall art unique. This is a local small business, veteran-owned and proud. Joe Burdick creates symbolic artwork that is built to last. Display your spirit, pride, and patriotism by calling 440-305-2065 and let Joe's flag serve you. 440-305-2065. Joe Burdick Flags. Let me introduce you to Charlie's Auto Repair. Any car, any truck, any problem, Charlie's does it right. You know how it is. The check your engine light comes on, you put air in the tires, and the light is still on. 216-470-0170. That's Charlie's Auto Repair, 13728 Madison in Lakewood. Charlie can do it all, from small engine repair to fleet maintenance and system diagnostics. 216-470-0170. Charlie's Auto Repair. Let Charlie make your car great once again.
What's up, everyone? John Drake here with another edition of the Dog Pound Details right here on the Seth Williams Show. Let's make this short and sweet. The Browns are going to get their asses kicked by the 49ers this week. I don't care who the hell's playing quarterback. It ain't happening. This is one of those games where you know what's going to happen going in, and you don't have any hope. And I did not have a problem with Kevin Stefanski for the first 3 weeks of the season, but he is reverted back to his old self in words and in deeds over the last 2 weeks, and it's just, I'm over Kevin Stefanski. This is one of those games where other teams in the NFL might come out and have this incredibly emotional, moral victory and just upset the Niners, the best team in the league by far, and just come out with their hair on fire and catch, the 49ers off guard and, what's supposed to be some rainy, low 50-degree weather. They're coming from the West Coast and, the whole time change and everything like that. It's not even a 4 o'clock game. They're playing at 1 o'clock, which for them is, like playing at 11 o'clock in the morning or 10 o'clock in the morning if you could do proper math, which I couldn't a minute ago. But that's not going to happen. Under Kevin Stefanski, the Browns have never had a win like that. The only one I think you could say that was close to that would be the playoff victory against Pittsburgh, and he wasn't on the sideline. He was at home in his basement with COVID. So Mike Prefer was the coach for that game. I'm not saying it was all Prefer's doing. I'm just saying that if you want to think of a signature win in the Kevin Stefanski era, it's that playoff game, and he wasn't on the sideline. So, the Browns are going to get their asses kicked this weekend. The 49ers have one of the best defenses in the league. They have one of the best offenses in the league. They have scored over 30 points in every single game they've played this year. They don't lose. They look great doing it. Kyle Shanahan really had a rough time here in Cleveland for the year that he was here. We all know about the 32-point presentation. So he's coming in here looking to kick some ass. And what do we have? We have Kevin Stefanski. Instead of coming out and saying, yeah, Deshaun Watson might not play, well, he's day-to-day. We're looking for functional ability or whatever. It's like, shut up, dude. Do you really think that the San Francisco 49ers are sitting out there on the West Coast going, oh, my God, we got a game plan for Dorian Thompson-Robinson? No, dickhead. They're game planning for Deshaun Watson. It doesn't matter what you say. They're game planning for Deshaun Watson. And if he does, and they know they're going to beat him. And if he doesn't play, they know they're going to kick the crap out of Dorian Thompson-Robinson. So what is with this gamesmanship? At the beginning of the year, right here on the show, I said that what's going to be Kevin Stefanski's undoing is his arrogance. And he's displaying it yet again. He, didn't go away from the Deshaun Watson game plan against Baltimore when, Deshaun couldn't go during pregame. Instead of calling a game on the fly that would fit Dorian Thompson-Robinson's style, his lack of experience, you name it. Instead of doing that, he just went, nope, this is the game plan. We're doing what I drew up. You just have to do this. And now we're getting this, well, Deshaun Watson's day-to-day. It's ridiculous. He's ridiculous. And we're not going to get, I hate to use this phrase, but we're not going to get to the promised land. Under Kevin Stefanski, I'm firmly convinced of it. I was close to convinced at the beginning of the season, and now I'm firmly convinced. And again, this is one of those games where other teams in the NFL might rise up and get that crazy victory you never expect. But that doesn't happen to us. And especially under Stefanski, it does not happen to us. So we're just dead in the water this week. My biggest hope for this game is that I don't have to leave at halftime. I'm buying ponchos. I'm going to spend $25 on parking, like $40-50 on cheeseburgers and beer and stuff like that for me and my wife. And I'm just hoping that there's something to watch beyond the end of the first half. Otherwise, I'm beating traffic and I'm going to come home and go to bed early, get some rest. Why not? It's better than watching that crap. So anyway, I still have a lot of faith in the Browns, but I don't have faith in Kevin Stefanski. There's way too much talent on this team to be wasted on the way that he handles things. And he can't get this team to rise to the occasion. And they can't stack wins under Stefanski. They don't get signature wins like we would need this weekend against the 49ers. So, yeah, enjoy the game this weekend, guys. Sorry to be such a bastion of positive energy here, but, yeah, go Browns. Hoo, hoo!
Well, Bloom John Drake Daddy says we need to get rid of Stefanski.
I think we better put a suicide watch on John.
Yeah.
He may jump off the upper deck at the game on Saturday.
Heidi's checking in. I'm so glad us in Baltimore got the good Cleveland franchise. Screw you, Heidi, for numerous reasons.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. I'm glad you're watching, Heidi. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah. I hope her city gets hit by a bomb.
Does Israel not have its own army? You should keep away. Maybe we should send the Browns over there.
Do it, depress them into surrender?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a pretty grim outlook on the game on Sunday, wasn't it? Jeez.
Hamas could watch the Browns get bored and
just give up.
Give up.
Here's our guns. Here's our knives. Here's our.
Screw this.
Yeah, we quit. Just don't make us watch anymore. Let us
West
watch
is
the
bad
49ers.
enough. Look at this crap.
That's right.
All right, Amari Stoudemire.
Okay.
This is what he had to say regarding the situation in Israel.
Okay.
And Hamas. Unlike the other Americans that are out there celebrating and cheering the death and destruction and babies getting their heads chopped off and rape and torture.
I woke up, man, this morning with some disturbing news out of Israel. That Hamas is kidnapping children, putting them in cages, killing women, killing the elderly. That's some coward shit. That's cowardly. And for all y'all Black Lives Matter who ain't saying nothing, well, let me figure out exactly what happened before I say anything. Fuck you. Figure out what? It ain't never been cool to kidnap kids and put them in cages. It ain't never been cool to kill women and elderly. Never been. No matter where you from, what you represent, what tribe you for, it don't matter. There ain't never been no cool. There ain't never been none that nobody supported. And then you go and hide and put the kids in front of you as a barricade. That's some coward shit. All you politicians who always have something to say on the contrary, I see you. Fuck you. All you Black Lives Matter people who always have something to say and always supported everything else and you quiet now, fuck you too. Only place in the world where I can go and study Torah and eat kosher food. Only place in the world. Some coward shit, dog. And all y'all support it, fuck you. On my mama, we don't respect none of y'all for that. Peace.
Wow.
There you go. See? Now that guy had some counters, man.
Good for him.
Hey, man, he was probably taking some shit, too.
Oh, I'm sure he's taking a ton. But good for him. I mean, what does he care? He's got $150 million in the bank. What are they going to do to him?
Well, it's going to be uncomfortable when he gets on the court with somebody like LeBron, who knows how he feels. I don't know. I haven't seen anything. What did LeBron say? Did LeBron say anything? But I mean,
sure
I
he's
guarantee you,
way too big of a coward to say something. Come on.
I guarantee you there's guys out there that are going to give him a lot of shit for what he's saying.
Mari Stoudemire?
No. I might watch some of the games.
Does he still play or is he retired?
No.
I think he's retired, isn't he?
We got Greg Mack from 95.5 The Fish coming up in just a little bit, so let's get to Tony Masaccio.
All right.
Who's live somewhere and back from Hawaii.
Gentlemen, how are you?
Good. How are you? You're all tan. Look at you.
I am. So guess what? I am back from Hawaii, 24 hours in a hotel. I'm sorry, in the airport, on flights, back and forth. I brought home coffee, which is $60 a freaking ounce.
Wow.
As I said before, I could have found a better deal in an alley. So, unfortunately, not only did I bring home coffee, the reason why I'm not at a restaurant, I brought home COVID.
Oh wow. That sucks.
Yep. So I've had it since Sunday night. I thought I had a cold. I tested myself this morning, and sure enough, I got freaking COVID, guys.
That's almost better than being in a restaurant. So what? Not for you, but I mean for me, because I want to ask you questions about this. What does this new strain of COVID feel like?
You know what? It's just I got an itchy throat. I'm sneezing. I'm coughing. I never get a headache, and I have a headache. It's like a hangover, actually. It's a great question, Seth. That's how I feel. I mean, I woke up this morning. It was like I was drinking bourbon.
Did you lose your taste and smell like the other COVID?
So I did. So I lost my taste and smell, and my wife's cooking never tasted better.
There you go.
but actually, it's funny. I just had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So my daughter's a nurse practitioner, and she said, just make sure that you eat something that's very flavorful and has smell. And sure enough, it tasted great. So I'm getting better.
Good. That's good.
Supposedly you're supposed to be off for not see anybody for 5 days. So this is ridiculous. And I'm not getting the shot. I mean, these people are still getting these shots and getting the flu. I've never had a flu shot, and I'm not getting one. So I'm done. I'm going to take my vitamins. I got my aspirin. I'm good to go.
Where do you think you got it, Tony? Do you think you got it on the plane? Or
I must have. That's a great question, Chris. I must have got on a plane, and it didn't occur until I got home. My neighbor was sitting right next to me, and he didn't get it.
Okay.
So I have no idea. And I was fine. For the 11 days I was in Hawaii, I mean, that was great.
Well, that's all that counts. I mean, now you got an excuse to stay home and not work some more. So now you can recover from your trip, and it's a cold, basically, but you don't want to give it to anybody else. So, you're set now, Tone.
Yeah. So, anyways, I heard you guys talking about the conflict Monday about this whole Israel.
Yeah.
This thing's, I got to tell you something. This is, people don't realize this. And who has a phone in front of them real quick? I want you to look something up. Chris, can you do this?
Yeah.
There's 8 billion people in the world, and you're going to be amazed. Pop out how many Jews there are worldwide. And while you're looking that up, Again, this conflict has been going on since 1949, and the Jews are not only the most religious people in the world, they're the most helpful in business. They're in every business around the world. Chris, did you get it yet?
16.1 million Jews in the world.
Is that amazing?
Yep.
It's unbelievable. It's the lowest percentage in a religion in the world, and they're everywhere. They're in every country. And the reason why they became so successful from the beginning of time, they've helped each other out. That's why you've had Jewish owners and Jewish bosses that are so successable because they not only they're the greatest businessmen, but they've helped those that are in that religion and culture, and nobody else does that. Think about this. You got your son. You got Morty. He's going to give you a $40,000 loan to his nephew or his niece, and they start businesses.
Now you are Jewish, correct?
I am. So I have a slice of Jew in me, and that's why this is very important to me.
Well, so one, I'm sorry that all this has happened, man. I feel for you and people that you know and family and stuff like that. I mean, how disgusting is it to you when you see people that are out there celebrating this what happened? I mean, it's disgusting.
It's horrible, Seth. And again, I mean, and you know what? The problem is the Jews, first of all, they're the best military in the world. At 18 years old, whether you're a male or a female, you are enlisted into the army. The size of Israel is like the size of New Jersey. So they've been protecting this land since the beginning of time. And it's a religious, it's a political, it's a landmark that the Palestinians want, and vice versa. So this is going to be a mess though now. And I don't think now Israel's as passive as they are. And nobody wants to die except the Hamas can care less if they die. That's the problem, as we're seeing with this conflict. They're just savages. Yeah. And again, you feel for the Palestinians. You feel for those who are in America that have families, whether it be Jews, Palestine, Arab. It's just, it's not going to get any better. I think now they should just end it. They should just freaking end it and have America and all the allies blow this place up.
Well,
a lot of innocent people, but
that's what we've been saying for days now. Is that now's the time? If there's ever been a time, now's the time to say enough is enough. Just go in there, make it a parking lot, and do it.
Yeah, I agree.
Try to get as many innocent people out as you can, but get rid of these terrorists. Get rid of them for good now.
And here's going to be a situation where these guys, again, they're going to put they're going to be feet on the ground. The unfortunate part is they've got the missiles. They just don't have the tanks, but they have a lot less soldiers than Israel does. And again, I think America is going to go in there, unfortunately, and they're going to be on the ground, which is going to happen. There's no two ways about this. This is going to be close to World War II. And unfortunately, guys, they say that the world's going to end in the Middle East. I hope it does. I want to retire first. I'm going to take all my money out of the bank.
Well, one thing that we've been talking about, too, that's disgusting about this whole thing, Tone, is that there are people in our own government that people have elected. There's actually a person in a state house in Ohio that thinks that this was a good thing that happened. I mean, there's people that make our laws. There are people that we elected that think that this is a good thing. It's horrific.
Yeah, it really is horrific. So it's interesting. And I was on a show a couple of years ago on 1490, which is the radio station that I'm on. And it was two black conservative women and a white guy. So at the end of my show, we talked about politics. We talked about everything that war. She was a very religious girl. They're no longer on the air. And she kind of saw this writing on the wall, which is really crazy. She's been to Israel. She's been overseas. Her husband was very big in politics. Actually, her name is Laverne Gore, and she became a politician. And it's interesting you say that because that's what happens. I mean, they have no realm of life. It's sad.
Yeah.
So anyways, I used to end that show. It was called Red, White, Black, and Blue. And my sign off was red, white, black, and blue, and a slice of Jew.
Yeah,
you know, I got to put a little jovial to this, guys. I mean, it's, you know, again, and the Jews they're a part of my life because I have a business that has 1,000 window cleaning customers, and probably 40% of them are Jews.
Sure.
Which we do the Orthodox Jews, which, you know, again, they, as it said, religious wise, you know, every Saturday is Sabbath. They have like, you know, 25 to 30 religious days throughout the year. So my joke is the Jews have one more holiday, I'm going to go out of business.
Well, you know, Tony, and I'll be honest, I'm not guy that judges positively or negatively any group, black, white, Jew, Catholicism, you know, I don't judge anyone. I just judge it as people.
Yes.
And just looking at the situation, how anybody can justify the killing of babies and women and elderly people. Yeah, if it's a war, okay. I can almost justify war if it's this side against that side. I can almost go with that, you know, who's stronger, whatever. But if you're paratrooping into music festivals, kidnapping the women and kids and lopping their heads off and stuff, you know, I don't care what the reason is. It's not human. It's just not human.
You know, and there's too many innocent lives that got killed on this thing. That's why they're going to put their foot down, unfortunately. And, you know, you have all these synagogues in America. There's, you know, these Jews throughout America. Again, I just told you how many. There's not that many. I mean, percentage, I mean, it's like point
0.2, it said. 0.2%.
Yeah, 0.2. Yeah. Is that incredible? Chris, it's unbelievable. And guess what? And think about it. They lost 6 million when Hitler took over. They've been purged all their lives. And again, they're an innocent, and I don't care who you are. They're still, whether, like you had said, black, white, orange, purple, Jewish, Catholic, they're an innocent, we're innocent.
Yeah.
It's just so sad. Again,
really
hopefully something resolves here and it resolves fast. But I don't think it's going to happen fast, which is unfortunate. There's too much politics going in there that they're not, the Jews are just not going to kill innocent people. But guess what? It's going to happen because I think they are going to level the place. Well, they've already cut everything off, which was the smartest thing they could have done. I mean, that's the smart, you know what I mean? And as it said, just the surrounding of Israel itself, it's such a small area. It's just sad. Yep. So I feel for all the people that, you know, have families over there that are going through this crisis.
Yeah, it's a mess.
Well, we feel for you, Tony. I hope you get better with your COVID.
I appreciate it. So next Wednesday, I'm sure I'll be somewhere, and I got to take you guys out to eat. Can we do a remote somewhere? We got to figure this out.
You need to figure this out.
Works for me. Somebody said you should do it from a Jewish deli in support next week, Tony.
It's a great idea. You know what? I'm going to Jack's Deli.
There you go.
There you go.
Good one.
Yeah, we always loved Jack's. Jack's was actually a big supporter of Coach for Kids.
Yep.
Excellent.
So, you know what? I'm going to have a 13-inch corned beef sandwich in front of me next week.
Very nice.
Very nice.
With Swiss cheese and mustard and a couple pickles. And you guys will be salivating like you always do.
I've never had a pickle, so I don't know what that's like.
Oh, wait, you never had a pickle?
I've never had a pickle.
Oh, my God. Oh, Lord Jesus. Oh.
Never had a pickle.
All right.
Not even on like a burger, not even a slice of pickle. I've never had a pickle.
Not a slice of pickle. All right, well, guess what? You're eating a pickle. Guess what? We're doing a dare. You're eating a pickle.
All right. My side of asparagus and all the other stuff I haven't tried.
And guess what? You got to have a pickle with a corned beef sandwich.
Amen to that.
And you got to have asparagus. You've never had asparagus with butter or Hollandaise sauce on it. I got to teach you how to live, Mr. Williams.
Well, as soon as you're feeling better, I'll join you.
There's nothing better than taking. There's nothing better than taking a bite of corned beef and then following it with a bite of like a stiff pickle.
I agree.
That's what she said. So what does a pickle taste like, though?
It's like. Have you had a cucumber?
No.
Pickle is a cucumber. Never had a cucumber.
Jeez, oh man.
Okay, so all right. I'm just going grocery shopping with you. I'm going grocery shopping. Starting there. I'm meeting you at Mark's.
All right.
All
Feel
right,
better, Tone.
I appreciate you guys. I will see you next week.
Sounds good.
Oh, really? And actually, you know what I'm going to do? Probably within a month, I am going to cook in my kitchen. I'm going to make eggplant parmesan.
Nice.
And guess what? You're going to taste it then, Seth.
Yeah,
You're 2 minutes from me. You're going to love it.
All right.
With a little mozzarella cheese, some sauce on it. I fry it and bake it. Guys, I'll see you next Wednesday.
Thanks,
You at Jack's, or I may be at Slyman's.
All right.
There you go.
Tony Masasha reporting for the Seth Williams Show. And, of course, you can tune me in every Saturday morning at Flashpoint, 1490 WERE, which I will be at Kitchen Social. We were there once before, and you know what? We'll be there again. They have a great fall menu.
Right.
Very good.
Guys, back to you in the studio. Have a great evening. Thank you.
Feel better.
Again.
Feel better. Tony Masasha with the COVID.
Wow.
But,
At least it didn't ruin his trip.
Or his internet. That's the best internet
yeah,
he's
well,
ever
that's
had.
the best internet he ever had. Maybe he should do them all from his house.
Yeah.
Maybe he should DoorDash his food into him and just do it from his house every day. And then
Somebody
you
would-
could deliver it to him.
Yeah, somebody wanted to know who talked about this stuff in Ohio.
Yeah.
It was Representative Munira Yassin Abdullahi.
Oh, guilty. Jesus.
State Representative, Ohio District 9. First Muslim woman and youngest serving Dem member of the 135th, whatever, fighting for equality and prosperity for all Ohioans. But
Unless
she
they're
stands
Jewish.
Stands in solidarity with Palestine.
Yeah. Unless they're Jewish Ohioans. And
Right.
Then
The
she
Jewish
wants them
Ohioans,
dead.
Not so much.
Yeah. If you're Jewish, I want you dead.
If you're chanting for the death of innocent people, then
If your grandmother got her head cut off this weekend, good.
she's happy to see you.
Jeez, oh man.
So if you voted for her, God bless you. Those are the people you people out there elect these people.
Thank you.
Michigan, lay off the pot so you stop voting in people like Rashida Tlaib.
Well, Ohio, we don't have pot, and they voted in somebody equally as bad.
I know that.
It's not any better here. The pot isn't the problem.
Rashida Tlaib couldn't comment on the beheadings of babies. Yeah, we played that clip earlier in the show. You are so correct.
She's too busy celebrating.
All right, now we have to switch gears a little bit.
Do you want me to take the war stuff off the back?
No, we're good. We're good. I think, but wow, it is pretty rough, but that's fine.
I can change it.
No, it's fine. It's fine. We are welcoming a friend to the show from 95.5 The Fish. Entertainer extraordinaire, personality on the radio. I think he does some assistant programming stuff as well, and an avid biker. And now when I say biker, Greg Mack, welcome to the show, first of all.
Oh, right. Thank you. Wow, what an introduction.
I'm telling you, and I'll tell you another thing. One of the nicest people that I think I've ever met in my entire life. I've known you for like 3 months now, and I've never heard anything bad about you, and you've been like one of the sweetest people at that radio station, and just an all-around good person.
I appreciate that, Seth. And you know what? After years of listening to you on your other radio station, I was thrilled to hear that you were coming over to our cluster of stations, and we're so happy to have you.
I appreciate it. I'm happy to be there. Believe me, it's a pleasure over there. But now, I will say that,
Matt.
Yeah,
Hello,
how you doing,
Chris.
man? How are
Chris.
you?
Yeah, there you go.
Well, I'm doing well.
Good.
Now, Chris, I'm going to tell you one thing about Greg that maybe
Okay.
a lot of people do or do not know.
Okay.
He's crazy. He may be nice. He may be a sweet guy and very talented on the air at the Fish, but he is crazy because he bikes everywhere. And I don't mean See, that's the bike. Now I'm not talking. Yeah, I'm not
9
talking about
bikes.
a Harley.
9 bikes.
Yes.
I'm not talking- I wasn't talking about like a Harley. I'm talking about a bike where you have to actually move the feet and the legs and everything else to get from one place to another. I don't know what that's like. I had one, I think, when I was like 6, and it was the last bike that I owned.
You know, I used to love biking as a kid, and then you grow up and you don't bike anymore, and you become an adult and you do your thing. And back in 2009, I decided, hey, why not get a bike? And I couldn't pedal to the end of my street without getting out of breath.
Right.
And by the following year, I was doing 50-mile bike rides. The year after that, 100-mile bike rides. And it's just such an easy thing to pick up. Most people can pick it up no matter what physical shape they're in, especially now with the advent of the e-bike. So,
what is an e-bike? I don't even know what that is.
An e-bike is has a motor on it, a motor assist. And as long as you're pedaling, that motor will kick in and give you a little extra oomph.
Oh, wow. For like hills and stuff?
For hills or even flat. My fiance is a cancer survivor.
Okay.
And we got her one because her breathing was affected after cancer. In fact, she was in radio as well. And it ended her radio career, but it also affected the things she could do in everyday life. So we got her an e-bike, and now she pedals with me. She'll go 20 miles an hour and keep up with me.
Wow.
Now, me personally, I don't know about me with a one leg thing though. I don't know about if there's a bike out there for like an amputee guy. I don't know my prosthetic.
They have bikes where you pedal using hand pedals.
Oh, really?
And I don't know what you call them, but they're called hand bikes.
How do you steer?
Probably the same way you would. You probably have to stop pedaling to steer, but move your arms. That's a good question.
Wow, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
What led you into riding so far? Is it a competitive thing, or was it just like an addiction? Like everybody gets their addiction to whatever it would be, or what?
I think what it is I sucked at sports as a kid. I always say those who can't play sports ride bikes, and I think this is my outlet, my physical outlet. Some people play football, they play baseball, whatever. Cycling was my outlet, and it just became an addiction. And I started doing group biking events. And my fiance, who after her radio career ended because of her cancer, went to work for the American Cancer Society. And she's like, "Hey, you could put your biking to good use."
Well, and that's kind of why you're on today, because you're doing something that I think is very cool, and I want to make sure that that's what you're here for. So tell people what you're doing. We have the link that we're going to put up here, but what are you doing?
Yeah, so during October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and the American Cancer Society has different media personalities representing their Men Wear Pink program. Todd Meany from Channel 8 does it, and this year I'm doing it. And we're tasked with raising money for breast cancer research in the American Cancer Society. And obviously, I'm raising money for them partly because of my fiance, Gina. But ACS really hit home with me because it's not just about raising money for cancer research. Everybody talks research and they vomit statistics. I can vomit some statistics for you if you want. But ACS is the real deal because they provide services right here in Cleveland for cancer patients, whether it's breast cancer or any other kind of cancer. They have Hope Lodges all over the country. So if you're diagnosed with a certain kind of cancer that maybe the best doctor for you isn't here, maybe in Miami or Utah or wherever, they've got Hope Lodges all over the U.S. where you can stay free of charge while you're getting treatment out of town. Because Lord knows that treatment is expensive for anybody. I don't care what your insurance policy looks like.
Sure.
And the last thing you want to do is be shelling out, $150 a night, $200 a night for a hotel room.
Right.
Yeah.
They provide rides to cancer treatment. Whether you're a veteran or somebody who maybe doesn't have much in the way of family and friends, They provide rides. They have a cancer answer line. So if you're diagnosed with cancer, that's a shock to the system. And you don't know what you don't know. So
Right.
if you don't know the right questions to ask your doctor, you're not going to ask your doctor the right questions.
Right. I went through, my son went through non-Hodgkin's lymphoma and
Okay.
went through a year of chemo and radiation and all that stuff. So I'm well aware of what goes on with it. And the other piece to what you're saying too is a lot of times the doctors, they're used to it. So they kind of they blitz through it, where a lot of times you're not, as the person going through it, you don't know what to ask. They're not telling you, and it's a scary place if you don't have anybody to call. That's a great, what you were just saying, that's a great little function to actually have somebody that you can just ask questions to, because I know that was one of our biggest problems was the doctor's like, oh, well, you have this, we're going to start this, we're going to do treatment here. And we're like, whoa, what are you talking?
Right.
We were still trying to adjust to, you just said my son has cancer,
Yeah.
and you're into, well, you're going to do this for 6 months and this for 5 months and radiation. You got to get a mask that bolts to a table and all this crazy stuff. It really, to have an organization that just offers somebody to talk to, that's probably more valuable than anything else that you mentioned as far as rides or anything else to somebody going through it. That's a great, great little perk that you just mentioned there, man.
Absolutely. And then of course, that the donations also fund, they give grants to researchers, and they've been instrumental in the research that led to the 3D mammograms. So if you're a woman with dense breast tissue, this goes beyond the regular mammogram that might not pick up breast cancer. Gina probably, she's probably okay with me saying this, but she does have dense breast tissue. So she gets those 3D mammograms. And because of this kind of research, there are so many women that have been diagnosed at stage 0, which is obviously the most treatable position. That's the best cancer diagnosis you want, is at your stage 0, because it's the most treatable. Natalie Herbeck from Channel 8 shared her story, and she was diagnosed at stage 0 and was able to have it treated pretty quickly.
Sure.
It's so scary too, because everybody knows somebody that had a brush with cancer or had a problem with it, and they do all this research. You just pray to God that something's going to come out of it. And it seems like we are making headway, but it needs to happen quicker.
Yeah, well, it needs to happen yesterday.
Yeah.
For sure. And if you think about it, think about all the women and even men, because breast cancer affects men as well. I think all of us know of a friend or a relative that has gone through breast cancer. It is that common.
I actually have a family member who is a guy who had part of his breast removed because of cancer. And so, yeah, it's definitely not just women. And all this, it really needs to be taken care of. But
yeah, and you're doing this for your mothers, your sisters, your brother, or your brothers, your daughters, your grandparents. This is big. So what I'm doing is, for every $1 that's donated in October, I am biking 1 mile.
Oh, wow.
And in fact, I just received a $100 donation just before we went on the air. So I'm up to 358 miles. I've tackled 60 of those in the last couple of days. But I've got a pretty busy schedule, so I might be doing some midnight rides here.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because he came in this morning and took a picture of me while I had a mouthful of sandwich. I have my turkey on wheat that I'm chewing on. He comes in and takes a picture of us together. I got this big, huge thing in the side of my face. But he's got his biking suit on. The bike is there with him and everything else. And I saw on Facebook one day where I asked him, I said, well, how far do you live from work? It was like Parma, 6 miles or something like that. he biked like 30 some miles around to get to work.
I took the long way. Yeah.
Yeah, the long way. And I'm sitting there going, I don't driving 30 miles to get pissed off at everything in the world. I can only imagine biking for 30 miles. But
well, when you pick the long way, though, you do the scenic, less traveled road, so it's a little bit better than coming Rockside Road all the way down on a bike.
Yeah, but you know what scenic roads means? That means hills and windy turns and everything else. So no, I'm not a big fan.
Yeah, my direct 6-mile route from Parma to Independence is pretty flat. And when I go for the 30-miler, there are some hills. I'm going through Brecksville in North Royalton. Yeah,
right.
I held a motorcycle ride, and I rode my motorcycle that I had way back when, and I went through the metro parks, and I almost died within 35 seconds of being on the course, and I barely made it back. But I can only imagine doing the biking. Sorry, Chris, go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask: is biking kind of your, aside from doing it for a good cause, is it what you do to kind of escape the world, so to speak? Is it your place that you can just kind of decompress? And
absolutely, I'm alone with my thoughts. If I'm not listening to the Seth Williams show, because I actually listen to you guys, your the replay while I'm biking. But there are times where I don't have any music on or any podcasts, and I'm just alone with my thoughts, just working through the issues of the day.
Sure.
And I undiagnosed, but I'm pretty sure that I have some form of light ADD. And when I get done with a ride, even a 6-mile ride, I come in and I'm totally focused.
Okay.
So it does a lot for me mentally. I biked with a guy who was diagnosed with MS. I biked with him this summer, and he's had MS for 10 years, and you wouldn't even know. And his doctor said it's amazing how, since he's taken up biking, that plaque in your brain that MS causes, it's kept it at bay. So it is very therapeutic for the brain. Wow. and the body, obviously.
Sure. Well, it just is, and it's one of those things. It's kind of like walking, in the sense that people don't realize the value to it. I think because it's a little more common. You know, it's not going to the gym and lifting weights or walking a stair climb or any of that. It's just something that you kind of just get up and do ever since you were 4 or 5 years old for a lot of people. But from everything I understand, walking, biking, those are like two of the single best exercises that you can do, right?
For sure. And both walking and biking are low impact.
Right.
I've tried running. I come from a family of runners, and I can't do it. It kills my knees.
Right.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing radio?
Since 2006.
How'd you get into the radio business?
Yeah, well, I graduated high school back in '92, and I decided I was going to get an internship at a station called Jammin' 92. I don't know if you guys.
Of course, yeah.
And I thought I was a big shot back then. 18 years old, and ended up just sleeping in all the time. I was a morning show intern.
Okay.
Completely irresponsible, immature. And so I got canned, probably the only intern that's ever been fired. The only free labor. And that kind of humbled me. And I kind of took my tail between my legs and went into retail for, 12, 13 years.
Okay.
And I'm like, you know what? I still want to do it. So I went to broadcasting school at the broadcasting school here in town, and worked for Hot 101 down in Youngstown, and did a couple of internships for Idea Stream, and landed at the Fish about 19 years ago, and I've been here ever since.
That's awesome.
Let me ask you about the Fish. As somebody that my wife used to beat me to death with the Fish, like
literally a fish.
No. In the era, probably 2000, 2001, 2002 era, every other song was "Mercy Me," I Can Only Imagine, or Jesus Take the Wheel, Carrie Underwood. A or B. And I mean, I was trying to tell this to Seth. You could probably justify it to me. When I say it was every hour, it was literally every hour, right?
For a long time, we were really repetitive. And that Mercy Me song, that's like the Christian contemporary signature song. I mean,
Right.
it was played at my grandfather's funeral. I think everybody plays it at their funeral. But Josh Booth is our music director now, and he's done a fantastic job of broadening our selection and also making us sound competitive with WGAR and Star 102. For a while there, we were sounding pretty rough.
Yeah, well, it used to frustrate me. I mean, I'm a total music guy, and I really can bounce genres. You know, I'm good with anything from hardcore rap to death metal and everything in the middle. You know, and it used to drive me crazy because I wanted to like a lot of it, and I liked some of it, and I knew some of the bands. Like I had interviewed like Jars of Clay and stuff like that. Plum, you know, bands that were, you know, I don't want to say religious bands, but Christian oriented bands. And none of them were getting played. And it used to drive me nuts that it was like, well, if it's not, I Can Only Imagine, well, it's another Mercy Me song, or it's another, you know, or we're going to get heavy and play like a Creed song, but it would be like, you know, Can I Take You Higher? That's the one that everybody played. It was frustrating for a while. It made it difficult to be a fan per se, you know?
Right. And, you know, I appreciate our parent company, even though we were corporate radio, just like iHeart, but they let us do what we want over here, which is really nice, within reason, obviously. But we're not as tight as iHeart or Odyssey or some of these other corporations when it comes to the music we get to play.
Sure.
Salem's pretty good. I like Salem.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love the station you're involved with, WHK, and I'm a huge Bob France fan. In fact, a lot of mornings I'm there in the production studio, and I'll be listening either from your studio or I'll pop it on the board while I'm messing around in the production room.
Nice.
So somebody want to know when your show is on and how they can find you.
Yeah, I'm on 2 to 6 on 95.5 The Fish. I'm on right now. I've taken that voice tracking that your former employer has perfected and used it so I can be on here with you today.
Nice.
But
if people want to donate, how do people?
Where do we donate? That link you've got up there, that mobileacs.org / whatever letters those are. That's where you can donate, and I'm going to bike 1 mile for every dollar you donate. And Len Hauser, our morning show guy, he proposed an interesting question. What if I'm not able to bike every single mile donated by October 31st? So we're trying to figure that out, whether I do a polar plunge for however many seconds per dollar that I didn't make good on. I'm hoping for something other than that.
Right. I'm gonna put it up on the screen right now, man. You got 1,300 miles to bike.
I know, right?
Jeez,
I got a lot of miles to go. Boy, that's a lot of donations that just came in. Holy moly! Your audience has really stepped up, Seth.
Look at that, $1,300.
Oh nice. Boy, I might have to take the long way home. I bike to work. I might have to do the long route.
You're gonna have to fire up the e-bike.
Yeah, right.
I hope
e-bike might be cheating, but if I do that, I'm not going to tell anybody I'm on the e-bike.
Right. This society today, somebody's going to have a camera with you live on YouTube or something like that.
Oh, yeah. Look, he's cheating.
He only did 1,250.
I want my charity money back.
Yeah.
I do on my Facebook page. If you find me on Facebook, Greg Mack, I do hold accountability. I post, because I record all my rides in a program called Strava. Okay. So I post them. And I even, if you leave your name with the donation, if you put your name in the donation line there, I dedicate a ride to a donor. So,
great.
I say, so-and-so, this one's for you. And I post it up on the Facebook page for accountability.
Well,
That's
we
excellent.
definitely encourage everybody to start donating as soon as possible. We, most of our audience listens throughout the week, so hopefully they will continue to donate throughout the week. We appreciate that, though. We appreciate you coming on today. I think it's a great cause. I think it's something that needs to be recognized, and it's very cool what you're doing.
And yeah, I appreciate you having me on, and I may be calling on you again this summer, because the next big fundraiser I'm going to do is I'm going to be riding my bike from Cleveland to Cincinnati.
Wow.
For it's the Pan Ohio Hope Ride that we do every year, and it's an amazing once in a lifetime. Well, it's not once in a lifetime. I've done it several times, but it's an amazing ride, and to be able to see the entire state by bicycle is I mean, you've ridden motorcycles before. It's a very similar experience.
I'm assuming you don't take like 77 south all the way when you.
Oh no.
What route do you take? Because let me tell you. My wife and I, for years, were afraid to take highways. Like, we didn't take highways. For whatever reason, we were psychotic, and we didn't take highways. Now we do, but we didn't. And so we would go to Cincinnati to see my dad all the time, because back then he lived there. And we would
take
literally
42 all the way down to Cincinnati?
We literally would take Route 42, Pearl Road.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
Straight all the way through. It would take about
6 3 days?
No, about 6 hours to get from here to Cincinnati.
For about double the time.
Yeah. But that would be our route. Is that the route you take when you bike? What do you do?
No, there's what's called the OTET, the Ohio to Erie Trail.
Okay.
And about 80% of the route is on that trail. We stay overnight at college campuses, so we kind of veer off that trail. But there is an actual trail where 90% of it is on bike trail, and only about 10% is actually on road. So if you're shy about biking on roads, which is totally understandable around here, this is the trail to ride. It's pretty cool. It incorporates part of the towpath trail. There's a Heart of Ohio trail in Amish country, a Cocosing Gap trail, and then the Little Miami trail, which takes you into Cincinnati.
Real quick, how is your fiance doing?
She has been cancer-free now for 6 years.
Awesome.
Great.
And she gets checked every year. She gets tested every year. She's cancer-free. She's done ever since her diagnosis, she's done a whole food plant-based diet. No meat, no dairy. I tried to do it to kind of do a show of solidarity. I lasted 6 months. It fell off. I'm a meat eater.
Yeah, I hear
and that's going to be my downfall, because meat is a huge contributor to all kinds of cancer.
Yeah, but you're riding a bike 50 miles a day. I mean,
yeah,
that probably
works
works some of it off.
Cells, man, they love that animal protein.
Again, people keep coming in with questions. What local bike organization do you belong to? Any?
I belong to the Mind Brain Social Club, and there's a lot of other great organizations that I've ridden with that I highly recommend if you want to get into biking. There's Slow Roll Cleveland. If you've never been on a bike and you're going to go out and buy a bike tomorrow, and you want to start riding with a group, Slow Roll Cleveland. They ride 10 miles at 10 miles an hour. So it doesn't matter what shape you're in, you can ride 10 miles an hour. And they ride.
I beg to differ.
What's that?
I beg to differ on that one. It does definitely depend on what shape you're in, because it ain't happening here. Sorry.
They accept e-bikes. They accept hand pedal bikes. And then there's the CTC, the Cleveland Touring Club. They're more advanced riders. And Lake Erie Wheelers, who are based in, I believe, they're here in Cleveland, and the Lorain Wheelmen out in Lorain County. There's a lot of great biking clubs in the area that you can ride with or join and really get your legs.
Well, I belong to the Rickshaw organization, where they pull me as I go throughout the streets of Cleveland. It's on wheels, but you
experience it from the comfy seat in the back of the rickshaw.
Right. Yeah, it's a little bit different than what you're doing, but it's still something.
I'm telling you, man, get yourself one of those hand pedal bikes, man.
I'm gonna try.
I see those guys out on the towpath all the time.
I can use a little exercise, that's for sure. But Greg, I really appreciate you coming on today.
Absolutely.
Thank you, and I hope everybody donates. Again, mobileacs.org, and then / you see the letters, and we'll post it too. So thank you again for coming on, man.
Chris and Seth, I'm so grateful to you guys for having me on. Thank you so much, and I'm a big fan of your show. I listen all the time.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you. We much appreciate it. So, God willing, I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, Greg.
Yep.
Good night. He's a good man. He really is, and he's. I think it's a great thing that he's doing. And
Man, that's an ambitious guy there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take the 6 miles. I'm going to go for 30 instead. Said me never.
Yeah. Ever.
Ever. I don't say that in my car.
No. The quickest way to get to some. I'd run over cats to get to the quickest way.
That's what I'm saying. I never said, let me go 5 times as far. No, I've never said that in my life. I was a guy even in the military. I'm cutting through woods and stuff so I don't have to do an extra mile.
He's a good guy for a good cause, and I think it's if you can donate whatever you can, because for every $1 he's doing an extra mile. So $5, $10, whatever you can do.
Just think of it this way. Even if you don't want to donate, think of it like this. If you want to just be a dick.
Yeah.
You can make this guy go a full mile. A full mile for $1.
$1. He's going to bike an extra mile.
So give him $5, and that'd take him literally wherever you're sitting. That makes him have to go to the next town.
Yes.
For only $5. So throw the $5 up there. There's the link. Come on.
Very cool. But appreciate Greg coming on here.
Absolutely.
Listen to
Great
him on
guy.
The Fish, too. Listen to him on The Fish, 2 to 6 afternoons.
Yeah. I like hearing, I might have to listen to The Fish again now that they've straightened out their programming.
Josh Booth is the guy that does the music there. He's also my boss on for HK, and he's a good guy too. They're just good people over there.
Yeah. It's not like the other place.
No, where they literally have the devil working over there and still works over there. Satan himself actually cowers when that guy walks in the room.
Is it I Have No Heart Radio?
Yeah. I'm telling you right now, when the devil is sitting there at a table playing poker, having a beer, and Keith walks into the room, he gets underneath the devil gets underneath the table and says, "Holy shit, I gotta run." That's what goes on. It is what it is.
Right.
But that's just my opinion. Natalie wants to know what's coming out on Monday. Monday. Psychic Sonia will join us on Monday. Psychic Sonia will be on Monday.
And there's a rumor, I don't know, but there's a rumor that guitarist John Levin from Dokken will be with us as well on Monday.
Nice.
So it's not confirmed yet, but
that would be awesome.
It's all but confirmed at this point. So
well, let me know. What time would that be?
4:45.
Awesome. Psychic Sonia at 5:15. So
okay.
She'll be talking about her ghost tours. She'll be talking about whatever she sees coming up in the future. And then we'll have awesome musician, hopefully, as well.
Yep, that'd be good.
Everybody have a great night. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. And God willing, we'll talk to you again on Monday. Thanks to Greg Mack. Thanks to Tony Masaccio, who has COVID. Hope he feels better.
Yeah.
And I stand with Israel.
Yeah, me too. I certainly don't stand with Hamas.
I don't want to speak for you, you know.
I certainly don't stand with Hamas. I'll put it that way.
I was leaving you out there on an island. Oh. All right, we stand with Israel, and hopefully everything goes smoothly. Enough of this junk. Let's just all get along.
All right.
Have yourself a great one. We'll talk to you again on Monday.
See ya.